You sure you don't want to get her on there? See if she's seen the movie before. All right, fuck it.
Well. When did you get out? Oh, I get it. Taking advantage of my good nature on New Year's Eve, huh? All right, I'll go for it. How much?
I don't want no money.
Oh, now don't tell me you came up here to wish me Happy New Year.
Something like that.
All right. Many thanks, and the same to you. Goodbye now, Eddie. I'm busy.
I came up here to talk to you about Lloyd.
There ain't nothing to talk about.
I think there is.
Get him out of here, Lefty. All right, Eddie. On your way.
Now, wait a minute, George. You know that if you get rid of Lloyd, there'll always be somebody to take his place. You know that.
I'll worry about that when it happens.
But they got a kid.
Oh. Still carrying a torch for that dame, huh?
Suppose I am.
Well, what are you beefing about? I'm doing you a favor by knocking him off. I want him to keep his mouth shut.
But he can't. Look, George, it's a new kind of setup you don't understand. Guys don't go around tearing things apart like we used to. People try to build things up, and that's what Lloyd's trying to do. In this new setup, well, you and me just don't belong, that's all.
Maybe you don't. I do all right, any time, any place.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess we let it go at that, George.
Where you going, Eddie?
Home?
It's late. Lefty and a couple of the boys will go along with you. I don't want you to be walking the streets alone at night.
Really gonna take good care of me, huh?
Yeah. You said you didn't belong in this setup, so I'm getting you out of it fast. I'm sorry, Eddie, but this is the way it adds up. You're still in love with that girl, and you'd do anything in the world to help her. You got more on me than any guy in this town, and I'll lay you odds that the minute you get out of here, you're going straight to the cops and spill everything you know. So I'm just going to beat you to the finish. Goodbye, Eddie, and Happy New Year.
Get him up, George. So you thought I'd yell copper, huh? Well, I never did that in my life and never will. If I want anything done, I'd do it myself.
Yeah. You always was a fair guy, Eddie. I'll make a deal with you, but we'll be partners again. I'll take the heat off Lloyd. Beat the rap some other way. Eddie! Crazy! Eddie, no! Oh, Eddie!
One rap you won't beat.
Crazy!
Well, folks, this is the best show on Blog Talk and the best show on the internet. Shut up! Nobody, and I mean nobody, tackles issues like Inflammatory Talk. Shut up! And Mr. Midnight Movie. Shut up! And Jewish Producer.
Hello, son.
Shut up! We tackle the things that nobody tackles.
Hello, son.
Demand answers.
Hello, son.
Stop walking on eggshells. Shut up!
Hello, son.
Goofy Bone can get off his bloviated fat enchilada ass and start talking about La Raza.
Hello, son.
Jacking it. Pimp Daddy Joe Pete. Jacking it. Pimp Daddy Joe Pete.
Whipping the skippy all day long, all day long.
We're making a movie about white guilt. We're going to examine all these facts. Shut up! The civil rights movement today basically protects criminals.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
We're making a movie about white guilt.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
Shut up! We're making a movie about white guilt.
Done in a beautiful fashion. The documentary, at the same time, both prose and poetry.
It's not the noble movement that it was.
I'm above you on all these issues. I've been to the military. I have served in the capacity to protect your rights to bloviate. To protect your rights to bloviate.
Who are you to tell me what my style is, you meth addict?
I've been to the military.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
I'm above you on all these issues.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
You haven't served in the military. In fact, you wouldn't be fit for the military.
I'm a racist, and I don't consider myself an especially evil person.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm a better man than you are.
You're a narcissist. We've established that.
Okay, stop interrupting me. You could not defend the very rights you enjoy. You are the ultimate invalid.
I put stock in you.
I'm wondering what your solutions is on Debbie Daly's show.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Money. I'm into aviation. Money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
Man boobs.
Shut up!
I see why Sick the Tank daddies kicked his ass and kicked him out of the house early on.
Man boobs.
Shut up.
I'm going to talk over you as loud as I can. I've got my speaker full blast to blow you away.
Shut up.
Mr. Midnight Movie.
My name is Delano. I have killed Mr. Midnight Movie. I stabbed that son of a bitch.
This is
Money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
tired.
Money.
Power.
Money.
Power. Yes.
Whoa.
This is me from under the sea. Here doing a show. This is the Week in Review, Volume 1.
That's right.
And, yes.
Tonight's special episode, we'll talk about some of our journeys this week, some of the things we've gone through, some of the things Mr. Midnight Movie has to say, and then a very, very special first edition Inflammatory Talk Slam Slam Poetry Party, I should say.
Yes, yes.
So we've got a few entries. One I had to dismiss because it just said the N-word 18 times.
Oh, my heavens. Oh. Hey, by the way, hold on. I just want to get my phone real quick. If you can just
Now, you
bear with.
can submit a poem if you want, a haiku, a rant. I think Mr. Midnight Movie was going for a hardcore rant tonight. I don't know if we pulled that off, but if you have any of those, don't hesitate to share it with us. You can call in at 310-668-1969 or you can send it to us one of many ways. If you don't know how to get a hold of us, it's not hard to do. And then so that's right. Send it over to us, and we'll either read it or you can call in 310-668-1969. But that's later on. For now, Mr. Midnight Movie, what did you need to get? You need a new shoulder? I didn't hear what you said.
No. I was just Senator Cinema. I'm sharing my screen with you, JP.
Oh, nice.
She is wearing some boots and dressed in some very revealing attire. JP,
Mm-hmm.
are you there? Can you see my screen? I'm sharing my screen with you.
Yeah.
This is.
Can you hear me?
These
Hello. Hello. Hello.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. No. Here we go. Now, I can see it. Cinema.
She is wearing some
This
boots.
is not your typical politician fare. Wow. Look at those boots. Oh, yeah.
These boots were made for... I wonder if she will throw her hat into the ring for president. That would make... I mean, can you imagine Cinema versus Trump? I mean, what is she going to wear during the debate? Come on.
Fantastic battle that would be.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't know if I could watch it with both hands. I don't mean to be vulgar, but come on.
Spectacular. Be vulgar. It's a Friday night.
And that is Apocalypse state. So I think Apocalypse should encourage her to run to make, the 2020 to just be even more crazy. I just, come on, APOC. Run, Cinema, run. I mean, with those boots. Now, I've heard, by the way, that I believe that our California Senator, Kamala Harris, is out of the race.
Not shocked.
Not shocked at all.
Now that she's on a national stage, it's a little different, but if you're from California and been following her,
yes,
dude, we know the score, dude. She's no good.
Probably not, but yeah. So I just wanted to add that she's out of the race, and I don't think, like I said, she's not. She's got a lot of negative qualities. She was a prosecutor, and people are not, no way. There would just be too much backlash with She's got a lot of, as far as political things go, she's got a lot of backlash.
Yeah, she's got a negative vibe following her for some reason.
Right.
Not for some reason.
I mean, have you ever seen her like in the Senate hearings and stuff? She just seems like a very mean, nasty person.
She sure does.
And like someone you wouldn't want as a boss. I mean, she just has a very vindictive.
I used to run a blog with my sister, and it was a California politics blog called Sackholes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm getting a phone call from Crazy Doug. Not answering that one.
Okay, put him on the show.
Dude, that would be the only way. If it was that was a computer call, he'd be on the show right now. But yeah, so I did this political blog called Sackholes with my sister, and this is like almost 10 years ago now, and we used to bash Kamala Harris even way back then.
Oh, did she do buffoonish things back then too?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pull up that blog and read a couple of those. We had at least 2 or 3 blog entries about her that were not very nice.
Yeah, and by the way, I want to mention that I got into a bit of and I don't even know where it comes from, but I got into a bit of a tiff with porn star Melissa Hill.
What?
Yes.
The hell did you do? What started this fight? Can we get that
yes.
whole thing? Okay, we need to do a reenactment of what happened.
Yes, we can get that on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah.
This was, let me just, notifications here. And let me see if they have the
just
thread.
Sit back, people. We'll do all the work.
I show the thread. Wait, let me look at the thread. Okay. And I don't know how far or how long this goes out. And I don't know how much. And if you go on my, can you go on my Twitter? I don't know if they can show that to you, and you can see the thread, JP.
I might be able to find it.
And it would be on my notification. I don't know if you can find my notifications, but
I have to log in as you, and I don't know the password. So
okay. So Melissa Hill has 2.
When was this post made?
And actually, I want let me see if I can copy and paste this whole doggone thing.
Just open it. I'll be able to read it on here if you're sharing your screen.
All right. Let me open this, and this is. All right, let me open this.
What started this? Did you retweet something she said, or did she tweet something you said? What like?
All right, this is where it goes. Okay. Okay, so nothing, and this was about the Covington thing that we covered, by the way. We covered with Hebrew Israelites, and
so Melissa Hill of Raw Talk Radio, she's got a podcast on Raw Talk, or it's called Raw Talk. I forgot the network she's on though. Oh, it's LA Talk, right?
It is LA Talk.
Yeah, she's on latalk.com. You can find Melissa Hill's podcast called Raw Talk. And she made a comment here. She said, nothing like a bunch of punk-ass teens wearing MAGA hats taunting Native American elders in Washington, D.C. Hashtag disgusting.
And then I wrote, no offense, but the story seems like an example of virtue hypocrisy.
Melissa Hill responded, there are always 3 sides to every story. This side, that side, and the truth.
All right.
I've never heard it with the 3-way, but since she's a porn star, she'd know about the 3-way more than I would.
Okay. So, although I will say censorship comes mostly from the left side, they do it in the name of stopping hate speech. Also, they seem to lie by omission. And then Melissa Hill says, all I want is both sides to be respectful towards one another and try to work together.
Yes.
I said, I wish that could happen. It seems like America is being held captive by extremist on both sides. In my thoughts, exactly. And then I just gave her a thing of, and I don't know how long this one is, but I think I'll play. This is, I tweeted to her, Nick Sandman speaks out. So this is the interview, and it's 9 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but
from this experience that you owe anybody an apology? Do you see your own fault in any way?
As far as standing there, they had every right to do so. My position is that I was not disrespectful to Mr. Phillips. I respect him. I'd like to talk to him. I mean, in hindsight, I wish we could have walked away and avoided the whole thing. But I can't say that I'm sorry for listening to him and standing there.
This morning, 16-year-old Nick Sandman standing by his actions in this moment gone viral. The junior at Kentucky's Covington Catholic High School, now the face of this Lincoln Memorial Company.
How can I not, if someone started beating a drum in my face, I'd be cracking up. Wouldn't you?
You know what? That guy had a lot of, he had a lot of, maybe Adderall or something. But, I mean, he kept his stone face. He had a little smile. I don't think he was being disrespectful.
Wouldn't you kind of either gotten pissed or laughed?
But let me ask you something. Wasn't there a video, am I mistaken here? Didn't the old man actually kind of have an opportunity to avoid this kind of confrontation and wound up spotting that guy and walked right up to him? I mean, isn't that what the video, isn't this clip, what I'm trying to say, isn't it a little bit out of context, or is it the correct context, and was the kid just being a dick? Because I'm not sure anymore.
No. Okay, so if you look into the story, okay, the first thing that happened was the Hebrew Israelites, who are they're considered a hate group, and look, they make us look like altar boys and good Jewish kids and girls. The Hebrew Israelites were cussing and swearing at the Covington kids. And then the Covington kids started to do cheers, high school cheers, to drown out the Hebrew Israelites' hate. And then a Native American came in and started beating his drum and beating it next to the Covington kids. He wasn't going beating the drums saying against the Hebrew Israelites. He was beating it against the Covington kids to a degree, in my opinion. And one of the arguments is that the Native Americans were, to a degree, showing a little bit of solidarity with the Hebrew Israelites, in my opinion. And I could be absolutely wrong, but that's the way I see it. I think this is Stabby's father that was beating the drum.
Yeah, phone lines are open, 310-668-1969. Tell Mr. Midnight Movie he's wrong.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so, let's...
With Native American elder Nathan Phillips. What's it been like to be at the center of the storm?
Well, it's weird to see your face on television. I've been reading a lot, and, I've also been...
I think this guy looks a little bit like, and you don't think he was, but he does look a little bit like Jew from San Francisco, a little bit with the teeth, the mouth, half Asian's boss.
Nothing. No, not even close. But I get what you're saying. He looks like he'd be a little bit of a ball hog.
A lot of messages from people go support, a lot of hateful things.
Sandman and dozens of his classmates had just finished attending an anti-abortion March for Life rally when they converged with 5 Hebrew Israelites, a radical movement that is growing more militant, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center.
They started shouting a bunch of, homophobic, racist, derogatory comments at us.
What kinds of things did you hear them say?
I heard them call us incest kids, bigots, racists. They call us
a bunch of incest babies, a bunch of child molested.
Did you feel threatened at all?
I definitely felt.
I've never been called an incest baby.
Never. No, I've never even heard that. And they were being accused of being rapists or
yeah, like rapists and.
Oh man!
You know.
So these guys were for real. Like they had like wicked tongues.
And they go on the street corners, and I've known about these guys for years. And they go on street corners, and they call Ashkenazi Jews perpetrating a fraud. Those that are Jews, they say you ain't never been a Jew. Yeah. So I don't want to play the whole thing. You can look up. Nick Sandman. I mean, everyone has a YouTube thing, but
I'm kind of having fun with it. I want to watch
he's a
more
pretty
of the
decent kid.
Show me more of the kid.
What's that?
Come on, man. I want to see more of the kid.
All right.
There were more of you than them, but you felt like they were stronger?
This kind of reminds me of Fox.
I wasn't sure what was going to happen next.
It's unclear from the videos who actually started the confrontation. Each side believes it was the first to be taunted. Sandman says his chaperone gave students permission to shout school chants, an attempt, he said, to drown out the Hebrew Israelites.
Hey, can you pause this?
Do you think it was a good idea to start chanting back at the protesters?
In hindsight, I wish we had just found
a
spot to wait for our buses. But at the time, being positive seemed better than letting them slander us with all of these things. So I wish we could have walked away.
Did anyone shout any insults back or any racial slurs back at the group?
We're a Catholic school, and it's not tolerated. They don't tolerate racism, and none of my classmates are racist people.
Did anyone say, build the wall?
I never heard anyone say build the wall, and I don't think I've seen it in any videos.
After a review of the videos, NBC News could not hear anyone shouting that hot button.
Are you there? Hello?
Nathan claims he heard the team shout, build the wall.
Are you taking a shit?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
All right. I asked you to pause it a couple times. You must have been taking a dump. So
No.
let me just say, this guy reminds me of Fox. Like if this guy could just be a total fucking troll. I mean, just looking at him, I just think this is like Fox. This guy reminds me of Fox. All right, go on.
Phillips was with a group of Native Americans coming from an Indigenous Peoples March when he can be seen walking between the students and the protesters.
I intervened, and things just escalated from there.
Phillips says he was trying to diffuse the tense situation. Sandman says he was confused about Phillips's motives and why he was there.
At first, we were unsure of whether he was trying to join in and drum to our chants or what he was doing.
Did you feel like he was trying to get somewhere else, to go toward the Lincoln Memorial?
I'm not sure where he wanted to go, and if he wanted to walk past me, I would have let him go.
In that moment, he's looking at you, you're looking at him. What's going through your mind?
Oh my God, they're looking at each other.
To down, and I just wish he would have walked away, but I knew as long as I kept my composure and didn't do anything that he might perceive as aggressive or elevation of the conflict, that it would hopefully die.
Why didn't you walk away?
Well, now I wish I would have walked away. I didn't want to be disrespectful to Mr. Phillips and walk away if he was trying to talk to me, but I was surrounded by a lot of people I didn't know that had their phones out, had cameras, and I didn't want to bump into anyone or seem like I was trying to do something.
The center of the firestorm, what critics characterize as a smirk on Sandman's face, some saying it was an attempt to stare down Phillips. What do you think that looked like?
I see it as a smile saying that this is the best you're going to get out of me. You won't get any further reaction of aggression. And I'm willing to stand here.
Could this guy have any less of a personality? Like,
well,
are you watching this guy's cadence? Are you watching this guy's face as he talks?
Okay.
He looks complete like he's eating 50 bars of Adderall.
All right, listen to me. Listen to me. You're confusing the issue. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm just watching. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. But
I'm
what
looking at it.
What are you? How are you perceiving this whole thing?
Not the issue.
Okay,
the issue
is the issue with me. It definitely is.
Hold on a second.
Very important. You're missing a very important aspect of this whole thing.
No. Okay, because this is the argument that I got into
addressed. Okay.
with Melissa Hill, and she's not getting my point. She didn't get my point. I showed her this video.
Yes.
And as I said before.
Okay, wait. Can I read Melissa Hill's part here?
Yes.
Okay. As I stated earlier, my only issue regarding that student is the disrespect he gave to the Native American elder who had placed himself in a dangerous situation in an attempt to de-escalate a tumultuous situation. That elder was not part of the other inflammatory group. And she didn't mean us by inflammatory group. She meant the Hebrew Israelites.
The more I look at Mr. Phillips, Mr. Phillips was not there to de-escalate, but there to inflame. Mr. Phillips and the group, they were seemed to. God damn it! Oh, I'm gonna blow my brains out.
I love it when you read your own writing. It's awesome.
Yes, Mr. Phillips and the group they were with seemed to be in support of the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, wait, let me read this.
That is great.
The more I look at Mr. Phillips was not there to de-escalate, but there to inflame.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips and the group they were with seemed to be in support of the Hebrew Israelites. I could be wrong, but that's what I am seeing as the story develops.
Raw Talks, Melissa Hill, says, I don't know why you would think this when he clearly put himself in a situation where he was trying to lead an example of fighting hatred with peace and not return the hate with more hate. However, let's go into why a school of high school boys were sent to D.C. to protest. Were they or were they not sent to D.C. to protest an issue that they shouldn't? It would seem as if they are pawns, but put in a dangerous situation by authority figures who should have known better. Why would their chaperones instruct them to wait there? She made another comment, I think, right? I don't know. Oh, okay, never mind. No, I already read that one. Okay, no, one more Raw Talk Melissa Hill comment. The appropriate thing would have been for the students to report to their parents or school administration what they experienced from the hateful protesters, not go toe-to-toe with the hate group. The man stepped in to show an example of peace, not hate. Stop making him the villain.
And I said, I don't think of Mr. Phillips as a villain, but I don't think of him as a hero. I think he is a misguided elderly man who, to a degree, showed solidarity with the Hebrew Israelites. Do you hear what the Native American group was saying to the kids?
Okay, somebody's jimmies are rustled. Are you referring to how they replied to the white boys who told them to go home with, "We were here first"? Is that what you're referring to? Because, well, Native Americans were here first.
Okay. And I said, do Native Americans telling Americans of European descent go back
this is
to
amazing,
Europe
by the way. I can't believe
a good argument? Is that de-escalating the situation? Also, can you name a nation that was not built on conquest?
Again, why are you coming at me with all of this? I never said anything about what the others did or said. I've only mentioned the one featured Mr. Phillips. And what you said regarding nations formed by conquest is exactly the reason that punk kid should not have been smirking.
Are you getting any of this? Are you actually agreeing with this woman? Are you trying to get laid by her? You're married. I mean,
this is great. She's fucking ripping you apart, man.
What's that?
It sounds like she's ripping you to shreds. What did you say to her?
That's all I said.
You deserved You deserved that.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
You're a bad boy. You're a bad boy.
Okay, the thing of it is, and I think, look, I don't think Mr. Phillips is a villain. I think he's a frail, old man who looks, by the looks of him, he's had a hard life. You just look at his face.
If you ask me, he looks like an actor.
He probably is.
Yeah, both the kid and him both look like actors, if you ask me.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm cynical. I'm always on the sideline with these stories. But I get what you're saying. For the sake of argument here, the kid should not have been there. He shouldn't have been smirking.
Wipe that smile off your smirk.
Wipe that smile off your face, kid. This isn't fun and games. This is my drum. That is one of the best Twitter arguments I've ever read in my life.
And then she said, dude, you flip-flop more than a pair of sandals. I'm done with this conversation.
People, if you don't know who Melissa Hill is, go check her out. Her podcast is great, by the way. If you like drama, this is like a whole, to me, I don't know if you agree with me, there's a whole like different level of drama on her show than like anything we've experienced on Spreaker, if you ask me. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? It's like a different level. What do you say? Yes or no? Do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. Although I don't think, and she did say, dude, you flip-flop more than a pair of sandals. I'm done with this conversation.
She said that to you?
Yes.
Oh, I missed that part. I just scrolled down.
I don't think, and she put side to side.
Dude,
I don't.
You flip-flop more than a pair of sandals. I'm done with this conversation. I cannot wait to go back in here and maybe I might have to get involved in this conversation.
Might have to get involved and just.
I didn't see this going on. How did I not? How come you didn't hashtag me, dude?
I don't know. And also, why wasn't Mr. Phil? And then she put my two things side by side. By the way, because I put I don't think of Mr. Phillips as a villain, but I don't think of him as a hero, and I think he showed solidarity with the Hebrew Israelites. And I said also, I don't know why this is a flip flop. Also, why wasn't Mr. Phillips beating his drum facing the Hebrew Israelites, who, after all, were spewing the hate? Just because I don't think he's a villain or a hero, that question to me, it's like, why wasn't he? If he was trying, because I'm just saying, he's saying that he was trying to de-escalate the situation. That I don't believe that was the case. Because, first of all, I don't think anything you do with the Hebrew Israelites could de-escalate the situation.
I can't even find this thread. When was it?
It was yesterday.
Oh. Let me check it out. I don't know why I'm not finding it.
You might want to go on
I know
notifications.
It's on tweets and reply. Yeah, that's where it is. Okay. This clip, I think. Oh, here it is. Yes.
Maybe you should tweet to our show, because to say that we've done, you might want to state that a large portion of our show has been done about this whole incident. Do Native Americans telling America?
You know what? Should I include a link to this show?
I think you should.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd
be stoked if Melissa...
We've done an entire show. We've done a large portion of our show is based on this talk. But I just gotta say, I think to a degree, I was taken aback a little bit. It seems like she was. Do you think she was a little bit more upset than she needed to be, or do you think that the way I wrote things?
Dude, if you think Debbie Daly is drama, okay, Melissa Hill's drama is just—it's like hiking in the Los Angeles hills, like Santa Monica Mountains, or going to like the Adirondacks and just going on like this massive 20-day hike. It's just there's no comparison. But in a good way. Her show is great. I enjoy it. It's one of the few podcasts that I actually listen to on a regular basis.
Yes. And but and I wish we could have a female perspective here, but
yeah, what happened to Liz? Did you call her?
I'm telling her I'm on the air right now, so
I'm
hopefully
not sure what to reply to this one, so I'm going to sit on this for a little while, and then I'll get to Melissa Hill. But I think she should, you should have more conversations with her about it. I think she disagrees.
She's already pissed off. And, dude, yeah, I don't want to harass somebody.
No, of course no. But you I don't think that should discourage you from having these sort of discussions, though.
But I think she, like I said, I feel to a degree she took it. Let me ask you this: is there anything that I said that that I flip flopped or my words were
did she call you a flip flopper? Is that what I got out of that?
She did call me a flip flopper.
I don't know what you flip flopped on.
And I don't know why. I'm like, it's just an opinion, and maybe.
Well, no. What did you flip flop on?
You know what? I don't think I flip-flopped really on any. I mean, I think saying that he's not a hero and why wasn't he, and he's not a villain. I said he's not a hero, he's not a villain. My question is, why didn't he bang? Look, he seemed like an opportunist. He's a frail person. He doesn't seem like he's a cruel person, but he seems a little bit dishonest. The more I look into him. And I would never want to humiliate the guy or anything like that. I'm not down with that kind of stuff. But he's not a hero or a villain. And did someone just call us? Or did someone try to call?
No. My computer's going nuts.
Is this which computer are you on right now?
I am on the Mac. The Mac Daddy.
The desktop or the laptop?
This is the desktop.
How is that working, by the way?
That is an amazing computer, but I'm afraid to use it too much for graphics and videos and stuff because I think that's what burned out the laptop. So it shouldn't be. It's a much stronger computer, but I'm just afraid to go too nuts on the I just try to go easy on it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you got it sometimes. But back at the Twitter notifications. And let me see here. Are you referring to the white kids? Sorry. And then she said, she emailed other people, and I guess, and some of them are pretty, like I said, I mean, it seems like, and she says, my opinions remain the same. Yes, I watched the same video. Stop talking to me as I am calling on other citizens to find the boy and drag him by the... And she said, stop talking to me as if I'm calling on citizens to find the boy and drag him by his fingernails. None of us were there, so stop already. Take your issue up with those involved and stop coming at me. Like, I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, really. I mean, it seems, this doesn't seem, and I noticed this, and this is kind of
dude, you didn't tell me this was like a huge thing. Like, she probably hates our guts.
She might. She may hate us.
Damn it. I didn't think that, going through the conversation, but now that we're getting down here and I see that you pressed on, I see like she got really upset about this. Can you reread that last comment she made? I didn't hear that.
My opinion remains the same. Yes, I watched the damn video. Stop talking to me as if I'm calling on citizens to find the boy and drag him by his fingernails. None of us were there, so stop already. Take your issue with those involved and stop coming at me. And this, let me just say this. When did I indicate anything like that? Did I indicate that she's asking that? You
kind of did.
Really?
Well, no, I think you made her think about it when she's probably thinking, like everyone else, that this is an old story. Remember, Ruthie said it a couple days ago. She's like, "Oh, this is already an old story." I couldn't believe that. It wasn't. Am I
No.
right?
I don't know what story you're thinking. Ruthie, we haven't talked to Ruthie since this incident.
Yeah, we did.
No.
Oh yeah, she had an opinion on this.
Hold on a second. No, she didn't. You're wrong.
What topic then? What topic was it that she was? I'm pretty sure we were talking about that story. I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, you're wrong. Because we the last time we talked was Martin Luther King Day, and this was after Martin Luther King. So no, this is not an old story. Again, yeah. So
well then, Then I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out the response because it seems like she got really mad, and I'm just trying to figure out why is she so mad about this? Why is she so upset at you?
I think, you know what? None of this to me, unless you feel it's an old story, none of this really rises to the level of, to me, rises to the level of what looks like anger. And it rises, like I'm just kind of, when somebody comes at you angrily, you're kind of curious to why that is. I mean, why, to me it's, I wish, I guess, because I get into Twitter I get into Twitter conversations all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I felt all I was doing was saying things that were, I was just giving my opinion.
I think we've only had like 6 or 7 comments all night.
Well, that's because there's another show on that's more popular than us. I have to be honest with you. I mean,
what show?
It's what's the name of the show? The weekend. What's the name of the show?
Oh, you're talking about Rick's show.
Yeah.
That show is much more popular than ours on our.
It's like I said, it's better produced. I mean, to a degree, Rick is a professional. Like he's got that professional baritone voice, and I think he's got better equipment than we do, and he's really a good speaker, and he gets. I think he does a lot more stuff that's been going on in Discord and other things. So, man, I give that guy a lot of credit. So, he's he's really good.
I'd like to talk to a guy like Rick just to see about like how to set up everything, because I think right now the one thing I'm lacking is I need a good mic. That's on my sights. A good microphone. I'm going to get a Yeti.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that at times that even on I want to get a Yeti as well. Just get a good microphone.
Yeti. But, this show is brought to you by Yeti.
It seems like there was a level of anger there, and I don't know where.
She sounded pissed, dude. She really sounded pissed. I didn't know it was going to go that route. I thought, it was going to be a pretty mundane conversation and end, but it really. She had some thoughts for you, man, at the end there.
Yeah, and I don't know. I honestly don't know where it's coming from. And do you think? Let me ask you something. Do you think what I was saying rose to the level of that kind of anger?
The emotion did not seem to fit the circumstance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And, I guess...
I could be wrong. I wasn't there. But do you normally address issues of, like, don't you talk about movies with her? Or do you usually talk about politics with her?
It's only been politics, but some people like talk about movies and other things. But it's like,
no,
and the thing of it is, she has been the victim of narcissistic abuse, which I believe to a degree I have as well. I don't know if it's narcissistic abuse, but I've had my share of people who were in charge who had narcissistic form of behavior. So I kind of can relate to that, and maybe what the hell is that?
All right, so who the fuck do I have on? Daly, who y'all do you have on the line?
Rick, what's going on? It's Jewish producer. I'm here with
I don't know.
Mr.
I'm not over
Midnight
at Discord.
Movie.
I'll go check and see who just popped in.
I am with Mr. Mr. Midnight Movie, Rick.
Jewish producer, Anonymous Radio, Apocalypse, Dream Master, and Bone Chip, which is Aaron.
Jesus.
Are we muted?
All right, producer, say something. Go ahead, brother.
Are we muted? Are we live?
No, we're live. I'm hearing this right now.
Oh yeah, man, we're hearing it live.
Yes, we're hearing it live.
Yeah.
By the way, I just got a porn star pissed off, ex-porn star pissed off at me.
Hey, you know what? You know what's gonna piss me off, Mr. Midnight, in a second? It's JP. JP. No, wait. If JP no, I'll be fucking
Wait. Y'all shut up and listen. Go ahead, Dennis. Let them have it. Do it.
Don't be fucking sarcastic.
Okay.
Fucking fuck you up.
Listen, I did. That was all super.
Sorry, Rick.
Guys, Rick is just like me about sound. He's just like me about sound. He's got to have.
He sounded like he was taking off.
I'll be quiet.
Go on, Dennis.
There has to be some kind of order.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stickler for sound, guys.
Bone Chip is here?
This fucking contain yourself 5 goddamn minutes. Shut the fuck up. The Down syndrome guy, hush for a moment. Jewish producer, for Jesus Christ, for whatever this is on this show tonight. I heard your voice first. Go ahead, brother. Say what you got to say. Jesus.
Well, Mr. Midnight Movie and I were just here to share a story. He pissed off a former porn star on Twitter, and they had it out in Twitterville. And I thought we just wanted to share that real quick. That's all.
We were arguing about the Covington issue, the Covington Catholic School issue, in that Indian guy, the Marine, the Vietnam Times veteran, who
just as much Marine as he is an Indian.
I need to interrupt this. I have an emergency. Stabby McHugs is on the call. Rick.
All right, everybody shut up. I'm sorry. Executive decision, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
But Stabby is... I have never, ever heard Stabby's voice.
He's a retard.
He's an
What up,
asshole,
Rick?
too.
See?
How you doing, baby?
That's Stabby.
That's funny. What's going on, Abby? What's going on, man? Sorry, I'll shut up again.
Shut up.
Wow.
That's Stabby. He just said shut up.
You turned
All right,
Dennis
Stabby,
on.
what's going on, man?
Nothing. I just wanted to come in and listen. I didn't expect to be.
That's actually the first time he's ever spoken in his entire life. So.
Now, Rick said a lot of nice things about you, Stabby. He had a lot of compliments to give you, so the least you can do is talk to him for a minute.
All right, I jumped off of there. Did you want to stay in there, or did you want to jump off?
No, I didn't want to say any more.
Yeah,
Just
I think we didn't overstep our welcome. I think we were just right. I think we just said what we said and we bailed.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, either way, I could have gone on longer. I could have stuck around. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a porn star, or I would say, let me just say, porn star, former adult star, was upset with me.
Melissa Monet.
And it, you know, like I said, I feel to a degree, and I could be wrong, but I don't think it rose to the level of getting upset, and I didn't indicate anything that that she wanted the kids to be hauled off and, you know, drugged by their fingernails and, you know, castrated and whipped and beaten and anything like that. I never gave any indication that she was stating that. I'm saying, the only thing that I'm saying is this former Marine and indigenous person was not there to de-escalate the situation, but was there to basically, to a degree, join in with the Hebrew Israelites, because it was only when after they started chanting, after the high schoolers started chanting against the Hebrew Israelites, did this Indian come in and start beating his drum against them. And he wasn't beating it against the Hebrew Israelites, or he wasn't like doing it in solidarity with them. He was doing it in the thing, and the other kids were dancing. He was beating a drum, and it's like, I guess they would call it cultural appropriation, even though you're doing it in front of you. That's another thing about cultural appropriation. With us, with people of European descent, it's always cultural appropriation anytime we do something of a different culture. When they do it, it's doing the majority culture. It's just I forget what they call it, but really what it boils down to is them kind of thinking, what's mine is mine and what's yours is for everyone. And then Kurt Green, I don't know why he said, how pathetic, the white trash group. Why would you say something like that, Kurt? That is so stupid. Jesus, Kurt's
eating his stupid pill today.
Oh, he's drinking the full bottle. But you know what? I mean, that's the way it goes. If somebody decides to not like me, I can't, you know.
Big hug for Todd Morris. Big hug, dude.
Big hug, Todd Morris. Todd Morris has one of the best shows out there. It is funny.
One of the best shows ever, really. I'm watching a few of these. I've been watching a lot of these flashbacks with the Nature Boy videos on YouTube. And, dude, I can't tell you how talented I think Todd Morris is. I just can't. It goes beyond words, dude. That guy's great. I think that Spreaker should recognize podcasters like Todd Morris, and they should do something about it.
Yeah, they should, absolutely. Oh, I want to put out a little bit more out there. And she said, were they there or were they not sent to D.C. to protest an issue that they shouldn't. It seems as they were pawns put into a dangerous situation by authority figures who should have known better. Why would their chaperones instruct them to wait there? And you know what I mean? I'm not saying that they were not in a good situation and that the school should not have been there to protest. I don't think kids should basically, protest anything. I didn't like it when the kids protested for gun control when all the kids went out and took off at school. I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with. Kids are of a certain age, and they shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. But that's not the point. In my opinion, that's true. My point is that person who is the Native American wasn't doing a very noble thing. He wasn't being noble. And I want to say again, I'll put out Stefan Molyneux. He has a video on the whole thing, and there's the more that comes out. And look, if anything else comes out, because I have no seriously
my own reaction video to this, because I think I have my own opinion on what happened, what went down, and it makes the world go round. I think you're triggering some good thoughts by other people to discuss this. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's just an opinion, and I thought, maybe, and I know I've come before at her, like with, I did it, because I like to look at inflammatory videos and things that you're not supposed to see and look at and stuff like that. I mean, I'm into that kind of thing. Of course. And, and the thing of it is, I think on this level, I think to a degree she, I guess she got the feeling that I was making her out to be like a vigilante and an executioner for these kids. I don't know where she got that indication. I don't feel I gave it out. I just don't believe that Mr. Phillips, and I don't think he's a hero or a villain. I think, like I said, I think he's a misguided person whose ego is defined by struggle. And the same thing with the Hebrew Israelites. Their ego is defined by struggle. And these individuals are not peacemakers or anything like that. And I would go as far as to say those today that are involved in civil rights, they get their ego through struggle. And, that's how they define themselves, is through struggle. And I guess they use to me, it's almost like they almost have to feed off of struggle and drama to for them to gain, like, just for them to kind of feel alive. It's kind of like a fix to a degree. It's like a drug, drama and so-called racism and stuff. They need that to feed off of. I was watching Tree of Life's. Let me take a drink of water real quick. My mouth is getting dry. Yes. And while we're curing dry mouth, I'd like to remind you all to check out our YouTube page, Mr. Midnight Movie. Oh no, Inflammatory Talk.
Inflammatory Talk, ladies and gentlemen. It's Inflammatory Talk. Look, like I said, I don't have necessarily a dog in this fight. I'm not angry or, and if someone wants to, like, block me or unfollow me, that's fine. I'm not, but I just feel to a degree I wasn't trying to tell the person that they're mean or they just had a different opinion and I had a different opinion and I saw things differently. And I was just
definitely was not saying not to ever talk with her again. She was just saying, I'm done with this topic, but it didn't sound like she was done with you, per se.
Yeah, and it's like, but I think she, and I'm not, because I don't know her personally, and I don't know how upset she is, but like I said, I don't.
Well, that's certainly not what we do, and that's not what we're about, and that's so a lot of times through. I mean, look, you could barely complete a full sentence without making 3 spelling errors. Who's to say what you're conveying is being misinterpreted just based on some of the grammar?
Yeah, I've been told by plenty. People always instead of one of the ways they try to hurt me, instead of attacking my argument, they attack my grammar.
Maybe you should contact me, and then I'll log in and comment for you tell me what, and I'll transcribe it for you.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, and like I said, I guess some people are not into. Let's see, Darren. I want to add Darren.
Looks like Darren wants to come in. Are you able to add him on your side?
Yes. Let me see here. Oh, add me. I think I just added you, Darren. Hold on. And let me see if I can get Darren on the call here.
Hey, what's up, Paulie B? I think he's been contacting me. What's up, dude? You got Kurt Green. Who are you adding right now?
Adding Darren. Darren asked to be added to the call, I think.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Maybe. I think he said add me.
Hi.
Hello, Darren. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good.
Welcome to the show.
So, do you have any comments about the conversation that just are the tweet?
Were you able to, did you hear the conversation between Melissa and Mr. Midnight Movie?
Was that about the kids and the Indian?
Yes.
Yeah, I got strong feelings about that. I mean, people just jumped the gun on it. I mean, those people, everybody was there protesting something, and the Israelite guys were off the chart. I mean, for like an hour and a half, they were badgering those kids who were just standing there. I totally understand where they're coming from, because that was me when I was 16. They're Catholic kids, and they come from a Catholic school, and they're there for, pro-life. And that Indian guy came over there to them.
I would have been laughing hard if some Indian guy at 16. I'd have been laughing my ass off, dude.
Well, after taking it from the black guys for like an hour and a half, and then an Indian comes over, you got to be looking around, just going, "What the fuck is going on?" I mean, Jesus.
I'm thinking, you know what? Let me just say this. This would almost. Did any one of you see A Night at the Opera?
Don't think I saw it. Who's
but
in
it? To me, this would be a great skit with the Hebrew Israelites, then the Native Americans, and then these women rights groups come in, and then another group comes in, and just pile on after another. I just think, just a comedy of pile-ons where you just have, Native, you have the Hebrew Israelites, Native Americans, trans people come in, and then
they obviously weren't.
Wait a second, and then maybe the Pope could come in.
There's too many. I know they had to be just thinking, this is insanity.
And then a Muslim can come in, and maybe some Sikhs can come in, and we have a whole we are the world.
It's not the protest. Protests like that happen all the time. It's how it was portrayed in the media immediately, and how people responded to it, which I don't blame them for responding the way they did when it was reported the way it was. I mean, look at Kurt, look at Angela. They were furious. They wanted to punch that kid in the face. And they didn't even have the whole story. They didn't have the whole story. And everybody jumped on it. And they were all wrong. That's the story.
Yeah, I mean...
So you're talking...
But, like I said...
So the whole... It was taken out of context, right? What aired on national news was out of context of what actually went down. Is that
well, they just took the little story and they just assumed, because it's like Joy Behar said. we all jumped on it because we all want to hate Trump immediately and just, just assume.
We want to get Trump in.
At least she told the truth. She told the truth. Everybody, has an agenda now. They want to get rid of him so bad.
Now, but by the way, I'm sharing my screen right now. Is anyone looking at wait, am I sharing my screen with you guys?
Yes, you are.
Can you see that? Is that not a lovely lady right there?
Yeah, we're looking at some busty
MILF. I find her attractive.
That's wonderful.
That would be a MILF.
That would be. But yeah, I mean, they jumped on it quick, and I was in the middle of giving my information to this actress. By the way, now Roger Stone has been arrested. Any comment on that? I think JP, did you ever hang out with that guy? Did you ever share shots with that dude?
I've not. I've had crazy.
I think everybody. I don't think there's anybody left to be arrested other than Trump. Goodness.
I think you can share a cell with Donald or with Roger Stone.
This is like what people. I was a little boy, and when Nixon, my mom propped me up in front of the big old TV with legs on it to watch him resign. I'm like 4 years old, and I resign. And but now we're living through what my parents experienced during Trump. He's got to be out of office. He's got to go. I'm sorry, in Jesus' mighty name.
Oh, give me a break. Now, by the way, I remember that.
I want to shut up.
Vaguely, but I remember the one thing I remember was when Elvis died.
Yes. 1977.
Yes, I remember that. I remember there were kids like, "Oh, Elvis is going to come." There were kids saying at that time, "Elvis isn't really dead." I'm like, "Give me a break."
Oh,
they were all right. How did they know?
Tabloid.
Crazy. How did they know so soon? I'm going to say, I was at the age. I was 5, and it didn't process, I guess, with me, and I didn't really know. I was too young, I guess, to really care, I guess.
My mother, she was getting a nose job that day. What? And so my sister and I at St. Joseph's in Phoenix, and we were on lunch with my grandmother in her car, the radio on, Elvis died. And then Jamie starts crying, Grandma starts kind of, oh no. And I didn't really, Elvis, but I'm not going to cry over it.
Mom came out
but
with a big bandage.
The day that my mama got a nose job, and then she woke up out of that, and she woke up. I remember there went, Mom, Elvis died, and then she just went back, just knocked out.
Now, did she just have a big schnauzer, or did she break her nose?
No,
have a Jewish nose.
What was going on?
No, she did a little bump, a little green black blood trout kind of.
We call that she had a hook nose.
Whatever, but she looked pretty fine, but she just, the day that Elvis died, you're at that hospital.
So she had a Barbra Streisand nose.
Yes, but but not that big. Oh. My goodness, not quite that big. Anyway, I'll shut up.
She looks like, for a couple coins.
No, she was homecoming queen, the most beautiful girl of Tullis.
Every night we learn something new about Curtis.
Daddy taught me the election for homecoming queen with a couple of shekels of silver.
Elvis died on the day my mama got her nose redone. Maybe that's why he died. Should have left her alone.
I want the Goyam nose.
This Parmesan pasta is good, guys. Everybody get Marie Callender.
No.
Chicken parm and pasta.
It's frozen, dude. What are you doing? Make some fresh food for yourself. Take some pride, man. Go buy some vegetables and saute them with some chicken. How hard is that? Make it yourself. I don't want to hear it from you, Curtis.
I do, but tonight, late night, I'm not going to go in there and start a big dinner.
Okay, you're forgiven.
I made pork chops and stuffing the other day.
Oh, that sounds damn good.
All you do, lay stovetop stuffing in a little square pan. Put your 3 pork chops on, and then slice an onion, lay it all across, put tinfoil, put it in there for like 2 hours on like 300, just low, and boy howdy, in about.
Curtis, how do you cook a good batch of meth?
I don't do that.
Oh, give me a break! Come on,
Kurt.
I don't.
Kurt, did you have a poem that you wanted to read? I also forgot to ask Darren if he had. I don't know if he's still on the call or not, but Darren submitted a great.
I'm here still.
Oh, you submitted a poem to me. Do you want to read it? Because we want to do our
no.
What?
A poem about what?
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Okay, so that was going to be like the highlight of my night, is to have people read their haiku or poem. Kurt, do you have a poem that you would like to read?
My brother for Christmas gave me this because I told him I was like kind of playing on the radio a bit. He gave me speeches that made history. Over 100 of the most influential speeches ever made.
Nice.
Featuring Virgil, Hondas Gandhi, Barack Obama, George Orwell.
I thought everybody was going to put a poem.
Do you want to read one of these little short sayings? Or
who?
You want a poem?
Mr. Midnight Movie?
You know, and JP, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's upset.
No, I'm not upset. If you wanna,
no.
You Nelly boy.
It's
Friday. Do you work tomorrow?
I think every time that I come on, Mr. Midnight Movie wants to leave. I must do something wrong.
No, actually, you're one of the most enjoyable people out there. No, I'm just tired. You know what? Go ahead and read it, and then we'll call it a night.
I think Darren should read his because it's actually an epic piece.
I don't have it on hand. You're going to have to do it because I've got Skype.
Do it by heart. Don't you have it memorized?
I didn't want to read it unless.
Oh,
okay.
He asked for poems, so
I did. I got poems tonight, and
how many did you get in?
I think a total of 4.
Read all 4.
No, I couldn't read one of them because it's the N word 18 times.
Oh, don't do that.
One was. Read 3 of them then.
I have a joke.
Let's see,
to end with. About.
Darn it! For some reason. Oh wait. Okay.
Somebody that had a wooden eye.
Now this is a poem from Ostrich Thief. Oh, tongue punch to the fart box. How I love thee. To avoid the anal abuse and to set the tongue free. Oh, tongue punch, come quick, come hard to the fart box in use.
This is terrible. Really.
No, it's beautiful. What?
2019, it's only January. I thought you had a pact. You were going to straighten this goddamn show up.
That was epic.
Yeah,
this is worse than Jerry Springer.
That was.
Now, Lord.
I have one more, and
I'm disappointed in you.
You're okay. I don't know if you and Liz communicated with each other, but I think if you didn't, Darren, did you communicate with? No. So you're going to find an uncanny connection between what your poem, I can call it poem, and her poem. You're going to be shocked. So I'm going to read Liz's poem. It's called Ode to My Anal Virginity. Stick it in my mouth and switch it all around.
Oh my goodness.
Missionary sideways or upside down. In the kitchen or in the shower.
The Lord's listening.
In the car on my lunch hour. In between my tits for a bit. Then stick it between my slit. You could even stick it in my ear. Just keep your dick away from my rear.
Oh, God. You all are going to hell. You know that. I'm sorry.
I forgot the
forever.
I told you. The Lord says some people.
That's
really funny because we are both on the same wavelength.
It's so wrong.
I think you and
I. All right, JP, we've read all the poems.
first poem, slam, inflammatory
That's
talk
shameful.
slam poetry, featuring Curtis. Too big of a wuss
No.
to submit.
We should have had Kurt read it. That would have been way better.
I know.
Better not have one with me in it.
No, you could have read our poems because you have the golden
Never
voice.
would I.
Next
Never
time-
would I read those.
Next time I'm going to have Kurt read it.
Kurt,
'cause-
you can read a poem.
No.
I'm gonna write you a story.
No.
One. Where you're riding a horse.
No.
You don't know if you'll make it to the outhouse in time.
It won't happen.
I like Liz's first line: "Stick it in my mouth and swish it all around."
Oh gosh, you all are sick. How about about
The
2019?
ladies were being dirty today in there.
I think Trump is wearing off on all of you. My goodness.
Well, it's suggestive, but it didn't really. I mean, except when it said, keep your dick away from my rear. That's pretty explicit, but everything else is pretty metaphorical, right? Between my tits for a bit. Think about it. All right, are you done, Mr. Midnight Movie?
We're done. See you later. Bye.
I'm done. I'm ready.
Thanks, guys.
You can call it a
Good
day.
night.
Awful. I'll never come back again. Bye.
Please delete
Love
this
y'all.
show.
Delete. All right,
Yeah,
thanks
let's
for
call it a day, JP.
Yeah, let me just. Oh shoot.
I'm gonna play the same movie clip again. See if anyone can get it. Guess what it is? Who's in the house?
Oh, nobody guessed it yet?
Nobody's guessed it. All right, guys, we're gonna end out with a movie clip. The same movie clip we played at the beginning of the show. And
Dude, I can't-
anyone,
Hold on.
we're gonna give them a shout out. Anyone who guesses the name of that movie.
Shoot, I don't have the link.
You can't get the. Let me give you. Can I give you the link?
Oh yeah. Shoot, is that on Skype?
All right, guys.
Shoot, what was the year? 1935.
39.
Oh. Damn it. Finding that clip.
You know what? I'll play it. You want me to, or will it sound better if you play
I
it?
got it. Here we go. Oh, no. It's the whole movie.
It's clip 7.
All right.
It's Here's a Rap You Won't Beat. Jesus Christ. As JP is looking for the clip.
That's playing.
Well. When did you get out? Oh, I get it. Taking advantage of my good nature on New Year's Eve, huh? All right, I'll go for it. How much?
I don't want no money.
Oh, now don't tell me you came up here to wish me Happy New Year.
Something like that.
All right. Many thanks, and the same to you. Goodbye now, Eddie. I'm busy.
I came up here to talk to you about Lloyd.
There ain't nothing to talk about.
I think there is.
Get him out of here, Lefty. All right, Eddie. On your way.
Now, wait a minute, George. You know that if you get rid of Lloyd, there'll always be somebody to take his place. You know that.
I'll worry about that when it happens.
But they got a kid.
Oh. Still carrying a torch for that dame, huh?
Suppose I am.
Well, what are you beefing about? I'm doing you a favor by knocking him off. I want him to keep his mouth shut.
But he can't. Look, George, it's a new kind of setup you don't understand. Guys don't go around tearing things apart like we used to. People try to build things up, and that's what Lloyd's trying to do. In this new setup, well, you and me just don't belong, that's all.
Maybe you don't. I do all right, any time, any place.
Well, I guess we let it go at that, George.
Where you going, Eddie?
Home?
It's late. Lefty and a couple of the boys will go along with you. I don't want you to be walking the streets alone at night.
Really gonna take good care of me, huh?
Yeah. You said you didn't belong in his setup, so I'm getting you out of it fast. I'm sorry, Eddie, but this is the way it adds up. You're still in love with that girl, and you'd do anything in the world to help her. You got more on me than any guy in this town, and I'll lay you odds that the minute you get out of here, you're going straight to the cops and spill everything you know. So I'm just going to beat you to the finish. Goodbye, Eddie, and Happy New Year.
Get him up, George. See, you thought I'd yell copper, huh? But I never did that in my life and never will. If I want anything done, I do it myself.
Yeah. You always was a fair guy, Eddie. I'll make a deal with you. We'll be partners again. I'll take the heat off Lloyd. Beat the rap some other way. Eddie! Crazy! Eddie! Eddie! One rap you won't beat. Crazy!